What if I told you that right now, from your home in India, Nigeria, the UK, Brazil, or anywhere else in the world, you could own a legitimate US business, open a US bank account, sell on Amazon, Shopify, and Stripe, and get paid in US dollars completely legally? No green card, no visa, no US address, no problem. Here's a stat that blows most people's minds. Over 2.5 million new LLCs are formed in the United States every single year, and a growing portion of those owners have never even stepped foot on American soil. They figured out something that most international entrepreneurs don't know yet, that the US LLC is the most powerful business tool available to a non-resident today. But here's the problem. When you search for how to do this, you get a sea of confusing, outdated, or US-only advice that completely ignores your situation as a foreign national. So today, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to walk you through exactly how a non-US resident can form a US LLC the right way so you can run your e-commerce business, get paid globally, and build something real. Stay with me, this is going to be good. Why a US LLC? Before we get into the how, let's talk about the why, because this part matters. When you form a US LLC as a non-resident, you unlock things that most people in your country can't easily access. Number 1. Stripe and PayPal. These platforms either block or severely limit accounts from many countries. A US LLC with a US EIN, you're in. Full access. Number 2. Amazon FBA and US marketplaces. Selling in the US is exponentially more profitable than most other markets. A US entity gives you the seller legitimacy you need. Number 3. Global credibility. Clients, suppliers, and partners take you more seriously when you have a US company. It's that simple. Number 4. Limited liability protection. Your personal assets, your home, your savings are separated from your business. If something goes wrong, your personal life is protected. And number 5. Tax efficiency. When structured properly, a single member LLC owned by a non-resident can have zero US tax liability on foreign sourced income. That's not a loophole, that's the law. But please, and I mean this, always consult a tax professional for your specific situation. Now let's get into the steps. Choosing your state. The very first decision you need to make is which US state do you form your LLC in. You do not need to live in that state. You do not even need to visit it, but the state you pick matters. For non-residents focused on e-commerce, the 3 most popular states are Wyoming, Delaware, and New Mexico. Wyoming is the gold standard for non-residents. It has zero state income tax, very low annual fees, strong privacy laws, and it's the most affordable to maintain. For most international e-commerce entrepreneurs, Wyoming is the move. Delaware is famous for being business-friendly and is preferred by startups looking for venture capital or investor funding down the road. Annual fees are slightly higher, but the corporate credibility is unmatched. New Mexico is the hidden gem. It has no annual report requirement and no fees after formation. Great for keeping costs low. My recommendation for most of you watching this, start with Wyoming. Simple, affordable, private, and powerful. Registered agent. Here's something non-residents almost always miss, and it trips people up badly. Every US LLC is legally required to have a registered agent in the state where it's formed. This is a person or company with a physical US address that receives legal and government documents on your behalf. You obviously can't be your own registered agent if you're not in the US, so you need a service. This is where companies like Northwest Registered Agent, ZenBusiness, Tailor Brands, and Inc. Authority come in. They provide registered agent service as part of their LLC formation packages, and this is often the smartest way to form your LLC if you're doing it for the first time. These services handle your paperwork, file with the state, give you a registered agent address, and keep you compliant so you can focus on building your business instead of chasing government forms. Forming the LLC. Alright, let's talk about the actual formation process. Step 1. Choose your LLC name. Make sure it's unique in your chosen state and includes the words LLC or Limited Liability Company. You can check name availability on the state's official business registry website. Step 2. File your articles of organization. This is the official document that legally creates your LLC. You file it with the Secretary of State of whichever state you chose. Filing fees vary. Wyoming is around $100, Delaware is around $90, New Mexico is $50. Now you can file this yourself directly on the state website, or you can use a formation service, which I'd strongly recommend for non-residents. Services like Northwest Registered Agent, ZenBusiness, Swyft Filings, Brizee, and Harbor Compliance specialize in doing this on your behalf accurately, quickly, and without you needing a US address or notary. Some even offer same-day filing. For first-timers especially, the peace of mind alone is worth it. One mistake on your filing can delay everything by weeks. Step 3. Get your operating agreement. This is an internal document that outlines how your LLC runs, ownership structure, decision-making, profit sharing. For a single-member LLC, it's simple, but it's essential, especially for opening a US bank account. Services like Rocket Lawyer and LegalZoom make this incredibly easy to generate. EIN. Now this is the step that most non-residents struggle with the most. You need an EIN, an employer identification number. Think of it as a social security number, but for your business. You'll need it to open a bank account, set up Stripe, file taxes, and hire contractors. Here's the challenge. The standard way to get an EIN is by calling the IRS directly. And as a non-resident without a US social social security number, you cannot apply online. You have to call or fax. The IRS EIN hotline for international applicants is +1 267 941 1099. Calls are taken Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. It sounds intimidating, but the process is actually fairly straightforward once you get through. Alternatively, and this is what many people prefer, you can use a formation service or a professional who acts as a third-party designee to apply on your behalf. Services like Harbor Compliance and Inc. Authority offer EIN obtainment as part of their packages. Highly recommended if phone calls to the IRS sound like a nightmare. US bank account. Here's the truth nobody tells you upfront. Opening a US bank account as a non-resident is hard. Traditional banks like Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo typically require you to walk into a branch in the US in person, but the game has completely changed. Mercury Bank, Relay, and Wise Business now offer US business bank accounts that non-residents can open entirely online with just your LLC documents and EIN. Mercury in particular has become the go-to for international founders. Fast setup, clean UI, no monthly fees, and full access to ACH and wire transfers. Once your bank account is live, you can connect Stripe, PayPal, and your Shopify or Amazon seller account, and you are fully operational. Compliance. Forming the LLC is just the beginning. Staying compliant is how you keep it. Here's your annual compliance checklist. Annual report or franchise tax. Most states require you to file a short annual report and pay a small fee each year. Wyoming's is just $60. Delaware charges a franchise tax that varies. New Mexico has no annual report, another reason it's popular. Federal taxes. As a non-resident single-member LLC with no US source income, you may have minimal or zero US federal tax, but you must still file Form 5472 and Form 1120 every year even with zero activity. The penalty for missing this is $25,000. That is not a typo. This is exactly why working with a service like Harbor Compliance or a CPA who specializes in non-resident LLCs is so important. Don't let compliance be the thing that destroys a good business. So there you have it, the complete roadmap for forming a US LLC as a non-resident built specifically for international e-commerce entrepreneurs. Let me leave you with this. The barrier isn't geography anymore. The internet erased borders for business. The only barrier left is knowing how, and now you do. Pick your state, file your LLC, get your EIN, open your bank account, start selling. The global market is waiting for you, and now you have the keys to access it. If this video helped you, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more international entrepreneurs who need exactly this information. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm covering LLC taxes for non-residents and the best bank accounts for international founders. And drop your country in the comments. I want to know where in the world you're watching from. Let's build something. See you in the next one.